Señora del Camino, muéstrame la vía para llegar al Padre, al lado de tu Hijo.
Well, hello everyone from El Ganso, which is 30 kilometres from where I was yesterday, so about 64 kilometres now from Leon, 250 kilometres from Santiago de Compostela. I'm not going to keep doing a countdown because it's important to stay in the present moment, but amazingly I'm recording this in a hammock. Exactly. And the last time I was in a hammock was on the Camino a few years ago. It's quite an interesting place where I'm staying this evening, called Indian Way, and the dormitories are teepees. It's very nice with beds, and it's not bunk beds, and the shower was great, and I've been able to. It's sunny today. It's very sunny now after all the horrible weather. We're back to the sunshine, so it does feel like you just give chance to get back on with things. So I've done some washing and put that out to dry in the sun, and there'd been no chance of that for the last week. So let me see, yesterday where we were in Hospital de Obego. So so there was the big fiesta on, big Spanish celebration yesterday. So there wasn't much open as regards food. There was a little corner shop, but that had absolutely all that I needed. It had some haricot beans, tomato sauce, sort of pasta sauce thing, and some sliced mushrooms and tinned pineapples. And to be honest, tasted great. And I met a really lovely man from South Korea who was sat at the meal table, so I shared some with him. And another chap who was from Liverpool but had moved to Vancouver. Interesting, well, they're both interesting in different ways. The chap from South Korea was saying that about 20 years ago, somebody who was famous in South Korea, who was a workaholic, had given up the job and done the Camino and then written about it. And there have been TV programmes since, which is part of the reason why there's so many South Koreans on the way, which is brilliant. We see a lot of them at church, a lot of them Catholic, come for the Mass and for the benediction afterwards. A few flies about, and the odd wasp. I put some fly spray on. I haven't needed that for the last week. I haven't needed suntan lotion, just needed dubbing. But anyway, yes, right, there we go. So that was an interesting conversation. The chap from Vancouver, he had studied medieval English, so he was fascinated with the Camino, and I said, is this the first time on the Camino? He said yes, and it's been 40 years in the making. And I thought, well, that's a real privilege. So that was interesting to talk to him. And then it was a lovely albergue last night. I had chance, I celebrated Mass in the garden because I'd missed the Mass for the day with it being a festival. And then after I'd had something to eat, there was a couple of comfier chairs, so I just sat there and said my prayers for an hour or so, which was lovely, and then had an early night and a good night's sleep. And I had a good position in the dome near the door. I think if down the other end it might have been a bit grim, but it was fine where I was. So up early, breakfast, met a chap from America at breakfast, nice lad, younger lad, who was thinking he'd be working in warehouses at the moment, and was thinking of a change in direction. So I just said a little bit about the importance of all jobs, what we do. Just promised I'd keep him in my prayers, and then set off running, and it was lovely today. Yesterday was just a straight road. Today was straight at times, but not a main road, and it was sometimes through trees, and it was more up and down. And it's changing now. We start to move towards mountains again soon. So there's starts to be a very different feel to things. So good running day. I had a really good solid run at everything. Made a nice time. Arrived into El Ganso went to the church, met a couple I'd met a few times. Last time I'd seen them, they were going past on a bike. They'd gone across to Meseta in 3 days. They're lovely, they're from the Netherlands. So we saw them, and then I had some tortilla and a cup of peppermint tea, and then came to where I'm staying. So I'm going to just enjoy the chance of having a rest, enjoy some of the lovely fresh air, catch up on a few things, hope that the clothes dry, and then get ready for tomorrow, another day. So lots of interesting people. I've met the 2 South Koreans who've arrived here. There's not many people arrived yet, partly because of these are sort of not the main stops. Somebody told me that there was somebody else who's running the Camino, and they are an ultra runner, and hope I get to meet them, but they're running the same stages, so they're doing 34 days. They're doing the Camino Frances in that time, whereas I'm doing that plus Lourdes in 34 days. Michael has just sent me a picture of somebody running but with a full pack, but then he said you're not alone, but then he said he keeps having to stop, so I wouldn't try to do it with a full pack. So might meet some other people who are running. My brother was saying about the son of a friend of his who's on the Camino and to look out for me. I said, well, I'm the only one I've seen so far running. Most people are very supportive. I think 1 or 2 think it's a bit strange or maybe feel a bit threatened by it, but I can't really explain in the time I'm going past, so I just smile and say buen camino. And I had a lovely chat with a couple of South Koreans. He said, oh, you're the running man. That's what these 2 said as well, you're the running one. I think because they recognise I have the Caritas top on every day over whatever I'm wearing, which is why I'm making sure I keep it washed. Otherwise it won't be a good advert for Caritas. And so it's interesting, and now they were saying how they find it difficult, but I was saying, no, keep going now, we're through that storm. So, onward and upward, 10 days to go, 250 kilometres to go. So lots can happen in the next few days, so I've got to keep giving it to God. And Señora del Camino, pray for us.
I just can't give up now.